Hi everybody, it's Galactic Man Larry here again with another Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure review, and today we have in front of us from episode 4, A New Hope, FigrinD'anAndTheModalNodes. How do you say this? FigrinD'an or FigrinD'an or something like? Do you check this little apostrophe or whatever? Anyway, we have these guys here, and yeah, this is like maybe the most popular, maybe I'm just saying that like randomly, background characters of the history of cinema, or at least in Star Wars. Yeah, I mean, these are super iconic, and they just have that scene on the Mos Eisley bar, if I remember right. I mean, that's where their whole fame comes from, and of course the melody. Yeah, I hope I had the intervals right. Anyway, these guys, I already cut the tape, but I haven't taken them out yet. Just wanted to show, well, you know how these packagings are. Here's one of the instruments. This would be maybe like the drum. Nice. We have here another one of those sitting console instruments, whatever. If I'm right, these are new sculpts for the vintage collection. I don't know. It's the first time I get these characters in any format, size or form. Here we have some kind of blowpipe. As you can see, everything comes in these baggies, you know. Oh god, here's gonna be a lot of things. We have like this kind of fagot or like sax thingy. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And I like this. Oh, this one is a bit bent. We'll have to fix that with warm water. Some sort of flute. Well, these are all like blowing instruments. Like, yeah, a shorter thingy here, but also this would be, I guess this is like for the drums or like some sort of marimba. Marimba. Here we have, I'm guessing all of the characters or the band members. I'm not sure yet. We'll check that in a moment. They're all gonna look like this, I guess. Are they all like the same? Yeah, if I'm right, they all should look exactly the same. I haven't checked actually. And there you have them, Figrin and the ModalNodes, out of the packaging, warmed in. I mean, I put them all into hot water because they were all stiff. I corrected the bent instruments and all of that. I post them, and here we are. If you're watching, please leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, because that helps the channel a lot, and I'll be very thankful, or I'm thankful in advance actually. And I really like Grogu, just because I really like having these guys. Yeah, I mean, this is a display piece. This is not I mean, it's a toy, of course. These are action figures, but this is like a little centerpiece, and I love it. And I love the fact that we got the 7. I mean, I guess this is the whole band, or do I still have to get the carded one? I don't know. But you get a whole band in one package, and boom, you're done. And this is Hasbro doing things right, and it's 7 figures. And I think the price, I mean, for the going prices for the vintage collection and all of that, it's still a bit expensive, of course. I mean, when you put like 7 of the exact same figure, because all 7 are identical, if I didn't miss anything, of course it could be even cheaper, but I didn't feel like terrible paying the price in Hasbro Pulse that they're going for, because at least you get everything at once. You have it, you're done, and you display it however you want. You can get the diorama from Navarro, or if you have some Mos Eisley thing, or you can do it yourself, of course, and you have a great centerpiece again. Now, let's do some size comparisons right now, because, I mean, here we have the Ahsoka from The Mandalorian, so that I don't know if that's a proper scale, if these guys would be that large and she should be that small. Of course, you have Grogu there because, yeah, even if he's not from A New Hope and all, I don't care, you know, it's just, I just got the figures that I had, like, laying around. I didn't want to make a huge, you know, there you have Boba Fett from the book of Boba Fett. Of course, we're talking about Star Wars, and here we have Star Wars himself. I mean, Darth Vader, which for me it's still like the character, you know. There you have Vader. He towers above almost everybody, or everybody maybe. We have the guy who brought Star Wars back to life, Mando. Again, just stay there. Oh, please don't fall. Here we have one of the recently released deluxe Dark Troopers. I also reviewed them on the channel. I'll post the link if you want to see that video. What else do we have? We have a core class Starscream, because he's just standing here. They're smaller, these core class Transformers, but it's just because he was there, you know. And here we have, even if it's not correct maybe, but from the Black Series, Wicked. And even, I mean, he's even smaller than a regular Vintage Collection figure. I love this thing. I'm really happy with this purchase. I didn't have any quality issues, apart from having to put all of them into hot water and getting some bent instruments. I already corrected that. So I'm so used to put everything I get from Hasbro, and not only, but I put everything into hot water. And here we have this guy, just to use him as a reference for all the rest. You have his kind of flute. I think I've shown the instruments already, but maybe I'll show them with again with a bit more time now. That's like, I would see this is like, I don't know, like a flute or something, like a clarinet. Anyway, it's not any of those. It's like the Star Wars version of it. But it looks like something like that. It's all like blowing instruments. I don't know how to say it in English. The heads are on a... Well, first of all, you have the shading. I really like... I mean, it's nicely applied on the hands and on the head. They have, of course, their very peculiar forehead. I won't say... Well, you already might be guessing what I'm thinking. And their very peculiar mouth, which looks like... Okay. He can look up that far, look down that far. They have a nice double ball peg, a dumbbell joint. And I don't know, I've said it in videos long ago before, like in the Vintage Collection, they do the proper neck articulation, and in the Black Series, not always. I mean, or in other lines from Hasbro, they do good dumbbell joints for the necks of the Vintage Collection, usually, if not all the time. Anyway, he can bend that far backwards, that far forward. Has a bit tilt to the side. They have a nice diaphragm. The arms can go up that far, a bit over T-pose. Can of course turn all the way around. That's good. Of course, no bicep swivel. Vintage Collection doesn't do that, at least not yet. Butterfly, I mean. The elbows can bend slightly over 90, just really like super slightly, but you can see it's not exactly 90, it's a bit more. I mean, that's where you get your bicep, well, your articulation is here to the sides. All hands on all of these guys have a vertical swivel. This one got a bit stiff already, and can turn all the way around, of course. No trigger fingers, because these guys are only using their musical instruments. The legs, sadly, we get the old mechanism. We don't get a T joint. I would prefer that. The peg goes upwards, and you have to always like turn the thing, and that. I mean, if you're just posing these guys, is no problem. But if you would like to, I mean, to actually play with the figures, yeah, this makes it a bit more awkward. But yeah, I mean, these guys for me, I mean. Yeah, at my age, I don't bash my figures or really play with them like a child. But it's easier to pose when you have the T-joint, and I would prefer it. I mean, it's faster, you know, it's easier, faster, more practical, whatever you want to call it. The knees are single-jointed, can bend slightly over 90. The The shoes or the feet are also with the old articulation, just a horizontal swivel and that much backwards and that much forwards. They have a thigh cut, and I guess that's it. But I mean, I think that's all you need for these guys. Again, I would prefer having some ankle rockers and having some like old G.I. Joe style, you know. But yeah, they just didn't for this pack. Still, I think it's a nice pack purchase. I think it's like you get the whole thing in one purchase and you're done, you're set. You put it whatever, you don't have to collect everything Star Wars. Maybe you just want to get this as a kind of desk decoration or something, because a lot of people will know what these guys are, even if you don't have like a full display of Star Wars. This is like for everybody who likes the Mos Eisley Cantina scene or the music or both. And the figures are nice. Let's just check the instruments. I wouldn't take them off again. There you have this little like piccolo flute. Here, of course, here you have these guys with this guy with the drums kind of instrument. You just put his little sticks on the hands, and you have this cast in that metallic plastic. It's dual cast with black plastic, and this is no paint, it's just dual cast thing. This one has paint for those cables or whatever, and has a seat, and again this gray plastic, nice detail. I mean, for the scale it's really nice, nicely made, I guess, this thing. I at least I like how it's done. You have two of these like sax thingies or fagot with nicely applied silver and like a black wash or just black paint on it. I like it. I mean, if you like these guys, I can only recommend them, you know. If you don't, well, you don't need them because these are like background characters, but they're very iconic, of course. And you have this kind of what's the name of this sack thing? We say in Spanish gaita, but I don't know the name in English. But yeah. And there you have them, Figrin Dan and the model nodes. I think I said everything I had to say about this for the price of like around 109 euros or something like that. It's not cheap, definitely not. But I feel that this one sparks all the joy because you get the whole set, you get all the whole band, and in one purchase. Again, you're done, and it's just look at it. I am super happy with this one. I would prefer it to be cheaper, definitely, but I didn't feel bad paying for this one. When they announced it, I was like, I did that. It was just like boom, no second thoughts. And yeah, well, Hasbro, in my opinion, nailed this one. And after a couple of depressing G.I. Joe reviews from the Classified Falcon and Outback, I will post the links here. And because of quality control issues, here I had no quality control issues. So I'm happy, and I can only recommend this one. And I'm not a shield, I pay for all my stuff, at least so far. I mean, let's leave it like that. Please take care, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao, ciao.